Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and today is our second video in the internal work series, and today we're going to be talking about positive psychology. In the last video, we talked about the therapy model and the various, different toolboxes that exist under the psychotherapy model. Today we're going to be talking about a different model, and this is a model that I like to call the positive psychology model. It's very common in, kind of the spiritual arena of personal development, and you can really break it into three different toolboxes, one of which is something everybody should do, one of which you want to be a little bit careful with, and one of which is outright dangerous. So the one that everybody should really focus on, everybody should participate in and do to some degree, is gratitude. So a big component of the positive psychology model is being grateful for the things that you have. We as humans take a lot of things for granted, to be honest. There's a great quote I read somewhere. It said, I have food to eat, I have water to drink, I have a bed to sleep on. Life is good. I'm thankful. And that's a good base. And just as somebody who's been to parts of the world where those things are not guaranteed to a lot of people, in America, we get really used to the idea, of course, everybody should have that, but I've been to places in Africa, I've been to places in rural China where that's not true. So let's start off and be grateful for the things that we have, right? And there's actually a lot of scientific evidence, massive scientific evidence, that having a gratitude practice is really beneficial. It's beneficial for, your cortisol levels and your hormone axis. It's beneficial for your cognition and your ability to focus. It's beneficial for your metabolism. It's beneficial for everything. It's just an all-around win on every aspect. And that's been psychologically and scientifically demonstrated. So gratitude is something that we should all incorporate. Now, the second component of the positive psychology model is what I'm going to call empowerment, right? So empowerment is where you are boosting yourself up. Now, a common form of this is affirmations, right? So a lot of people, will do the whole affirmations thing. Now, this whole empowerment thing can cut a couple ways, right? Now, on one hand, right, most people beat themselves down way more than makes sense, right? The inner bully in their head is going a million miles an hour, and so they have a low expectancy, and that tends to create a lot of issues for them in terms of implementing various personal development programs, in terms of making important choices, in terms of facing challenges. So if you're dealing with those kinds of issues, you absolutely want to look at empowerment, right? And affirmations may very well make sense. Now, the place where empowerment goes off the rails, though, is when people start telling themselves things that they don't really believe. And they try to force themselves to believe things that aren't true. So for example, if you're 400 pounds and you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I'm fit and healthy, I'm fit and healthy, I'm fit and healthy, you are lying to yourself, and your subconscious knows it, right? Now, if you say something like, every day I'm becoming fitter and healthier, that may very well be true, right? You may be becoming fitter and healthier. You're eating better, you're going to the gym, you're doing stuff. You may say, every day I take a step to build a better body. Great, that's true, right? But if you tell yourself things that aren't true, then what you do is you create a split in your psyche, because your subconscious knows that it's not true, right? And when you disconnect your conscious from your subconscious in that way, it results in memory problems, inability to focus, all these other things, and emotional fragility, all this other stuff. So you want to make sure that when you do the empowerment, you have stuff that's true, that you have references for it, and from there you absolutely want to bank on your strengths, and you also want to bank on your improvements. Even just getting better, that's something that's true, right? And from that you can build this bigger base. You can go out, you can do more things, you can gather more references so that more things can be true, and you can build this empowerment stack. But you just got to build it based in reality, from a solid foundation, and not from fantasy and delusion. And then finally we get to the third toolbox of positive psychology. And this is the toolbox that I think is downright dangerous, because people don't understand what's actually going on there. And this is the toolbox that I'm going to call this faith psychology. And the premise is basically, if I want something bad enough and I believe it's going to happen enough, then it's going to happen. You can see this in certain forms of prosperity gospel, Or, hey, listen, I want to be happy and God wants me to be happy, and so this is what's going to happen. This thing's going to happen so that I can be happy, right? Which is not remotely what religion is about at all. And you can see this also with like law of attraction, with many people who teach law of attraction, because there's a lot of misunderstandings there. I'm not saying that the law of attraction isn't a phenomenon that has some effect, but it's certainly not the only one. There are a lot of other things there, including the law of repulsion, which will screw you if you're emotionally attached to something. But also the other big misunderstanding around the law of attraction is that people think that, hey, listen, as long as I want it and desire it and expect it, then it's going to happen. I don't have to do anything. And that's just not the way the world works, right? There was a point in my life where I was a semi-professional gambler, and there were a lot of people who came into those casinos wanting and expecting and desiring to win a lot of money. And that's generally not how it ended. Las Vegas was not built on winners. And if you don't have the understanding and external implementation of various means of playing advantage and all these other kinds of things, then it's just not it's unlikely to work out in your favor. And I think that the faith psychology segment of this has created an arena that is where people are deluding themselves into thinking that they don't have to put in effort, that they don't have to go learn and gather understanding. And that's simply not the case. So if you're looking at positive psychology, avoid the faith psychology, do the empowerment, but just keep it from a base of honesty with yourself. And then obviously hone in on the gratitude. That's something that should be a daily practice. Hey everyone, if you found this video valuable, if you found a new perspective that's going to help you in your career or in your personal development, then I've got one more free gift for you. I've put together a free diagnostic quiz to help you figure out exactly where you are on the path to career freedom and what you need to do next. Just a few short multiple choice questions, and you're going to get a rating of where you stand in terms of your career fulfillment. How is your job affecting you? How much does it align with who you naturally are? With your financial success, and with your internal alignment, your own sense of inner peace, and how that plays out in your life. Additionally, it will also show you which toolboxes are going to help you achieve higher levels in the ratings that were most challenging for you, as well as what next steps you can take to make sure that you gain those skills and you get the rewards. So if you want to go take that quiz, just go to www.oculusinstitute.com/purposequiz. No lines, no spaces, no dashes, just www.oculusinstitute.com/purposequiz. I'm looking forward to seeing your results. I hope you get a lot out of it, and I'm looking forward to helping you take those next steps.